All right. Can you hear me now? Can you hear me now? Oh, I can hear me. So yeah, that's working. Great. Mute that. this. Okay, perfect. Welcome back. If I seem a little distracted tonight, it's because there's a lot of stuff going on. I don't know if you guys are aware, but there's a couple things besides this show, um, and they might be distracting. But I've got my Diet Coke. I don't have any warm drinks tonight. I do have my Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle cup because that's the important stuff. Um, and yeah, we're gonna fuck it. Oh my goodness. Yeah. Oh yeah, I saw that. Water water bills are stupid. Fuck it is my mood today. Sounds like a great way to play this game. So I'm gonna click a couple more buttons and then we'll get into it. Because I need to make sure that I'm where I want to be and not where I don't want to be. I'm where I need to be there. Good deal. All right. So, oh, I got to bring this up though. That's important. Oh, that's right. I'm talking to Julian. We're in the parking garage doing a thing. Um, let's see where it goes from there. Trying to. That's good enough. Okay. Perfect. I'm glad you understand what power looks like, Ransom, Julian says. When I was young, I thought knowledge was power. My embrace taught me that power is power. I think the diablerie of Ayla taught you the same thing. It's true. You can still feel Ayla's stolen strength. And sometimes, especially when the hunger is upon you, you can still hear her thoughts screaming through your withered veins. It's almost sunrise, Julian says, checking his phone again. I'm late for prayer. He slips a business card out of his glitch hoodie and says, with my usurper contact dead, my old Denver company 2100X is on hiatus. But I'm still thinking about the future. The 22nd century. The 20, yeah, second century. Think about it, Ransom. It's a sort of blank spot in our imagination. I mean, human imagination too. We talked about the 21st century as kids. We can still, in a way, imagine the far future. But what's coming? What's it going to be like 80 or 100 years from now? Because I plan to be there and I want your help. You're getting the impression that the Camarilla wants you. Maybe Prince Latau just wants you as a patsy in case the Second Inquisition hits him like the fist of God, but he hasn't mistreated you yet. And you know that the kindred of the Camarilla do not serve two masters. Oh, lots of options. I will do my best, Roxy. I promise to do my best. Yeah. You can tell me the details tomorrow. Now you should go before you burn. I'm not 100% in, but I'm interested, and I want to hear more. I lie pretending to be interested while making it clear to anyone still listening, like Latau, that I'm not. I would have to look at my stats. I don't remember what they are. I'll call you. I commit to the card to memory, but I'm hedging, not committing one way or another. What scheme of yours has turned out? What scheme of yours has turned out well, Julian? Please just go away. Fuck your hard sell, Julian. I'm not saying no, but get right up in his face to make it clear I won't be yanked around. Not again. Not ever. Maybe it would be better to discuss plans in my haven. After all these years, I really miss Julian. Yeah, I like 3 as well. Looks like right now it's just you and me, so I guess we get to make the choices. Hold on, I apologize. My phone is exploding. All right, sorry about that. Okay, cool. Yeah, When they get here, they get here. It's not that big of a deal. Um, it's just you and me, Roxy. It's us against the vampires and the Camarilla. That's. We'll see how it goes. You can't just, Julian says, momentarily losing his equilibrium, but then he leans back, squeezing the bridge of his nose. Of course you can, he says. I'm sorry. Dawn is near, and you know how I get. Will you be here okay here, Ransom? You shrug. If you're not, call me, he says, nodding to the card he gave you. Text me before you leave tomorrow night. He hands you a card with information about how to reach him, the motel he's staying at, and the location of a drop box. There's a little glyph like a knife doodled on the card. A karambit, he says. I'm not exactly a member of the clan of Banu Hakim, so that's what I'm using instead of the old 2100 logo to mark my holdings. No name yet, just the mark. Look for it, Ransom. Then he opens the door to your little office room, scans the shadows, and disappears down the garage, in no evident hurry despite the proximity of the sun. The metal door swings shut. I don't even know what a karambit looks like, so I'm going to go look. Because karambit. Oh, okay, yeah. One of those, like, curvy knife things. Got it. They're kind of cool. Good night. Yeah, I just need to mute that too. That's cool. All right. Next. You let the shock of Julian Sims' return fade, then check your knockoff Paneri as you take it off. It's 6:20 a.m. You secure the door, drop the deadbolt, and strip out of your leather jacket. You don't even have time for a shower, so you just unroll the sleeping bag and make sure your phone is charging. The dream of flying high over the Alps. You dream of flying high over the Alps at night. The roar of a single-seater engine in your ears. A silk scarf wrapped around your throat to keep off the cold, though you are already colder than anything else in these skies. Your dream shifts to a huge moon over a city you know so well that no name comes to mind. All turquoise domes and tall towers, black against the midnight sky. And then the same city, except it's only a village. Low mud huts, donkeys, children laughing. It's morning, and the sun feels hot against your back and bare limbs. No, not dreams, memories. One last memory. One that you know isn't yours. You remember forcing your eyes open after years of darkness, looking up at two eager fledglings. One from your clan, one clan gangrel. You remember watching, frozen, as the gangrel's fangs slid out. You open your eyes for real and check your phone. It's 5:49 p.m. sunset. Ayla is sleeping again. Ayla is asleep again. Your fangs are protruding. You shake your head until they go away, though you keep remembering the coating of dust on the elder's throat as you sank your teeth into her. You shower. Santorini. You shower, scraping the last of the filth out from under your fingernails. Then you decide where you're going. You don't want to keep Prince Latal waiting as you make the decision. Your first stop will be... Oh, I've got only a couple of choices. Looks like... Pattermuster at St. Basil's Hospital in Phoenix. I can kick those bottom-feeding vamps around and make the place my own. Pattermuster at St. Basil's. They've been lax in the Camarilla and needs them better behaved before the SI notices something. I've been on a pilot for years. St. Basil sounds like a job where I can shake off my lethargy and see what's going on, even make some new contacts. Ellen Ever Corona at the migrant camp outside Sierra Blanca, Texas. It sounds like an interesting place, sort of a Casablanca for vampires. I like the idea of easy living. Ellen Olive Corona at the migrant camp. It sounds like a horror show, the sort of thing I might be able to stop, even if she's technically a Camarilla asset. I bet there's a ton of money to be made at Camp Scheffler. If I can get into the blood trade there, I'll go there. NVIDIA call at her research facility on a ranch in Kiowa, National Grassland, New Mexico. I bet she's conducting some interesting research. NVIDIA call at her facility. She sounds like she's getting herself into trouble with the Camria. Maybe I can get her out. I deal with Dr. Call first. She sounds like the most trouble, and I want to get in and out before my unlife gets more complicated. So basically, I have 1 of 3 places, and each place has 3 options. That's a lot of options. But, that's cool. Let's... If the book or the story seems to think that NVIDIA Call was going to be the most difficult, is what it implies, that might be something that we need to handle first. Oh, hey, David. Thanks for showing up. We're glad you're here. I like your little vampire heart thing. That's kind of cool. Well, that is real weird. Huh. Thanks for being here, even though my mod view doesn't say you're here. That's cool. Whatever. See, I'm leaning towards NVIDIA Call. But I can scroll back up and let you guys read more of them again. I'm going to open this up a little bit. I am way closer to St. Basil's. Oh, you can't see any more than what I just did, so I'm just going to undo that because that's not helpful. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I did refresh Monchat. He's showing up now. He wasn't earlier, so I don't know. Whatever. It's there. He's there. He's here. You like St. Basil's? Oh, okay. Yeah, let's start. I think we're going to start with Dr. Call, unless David wants to weigh in if he's probably just got home, so he's probably doing a couple of things. Well, while we're waiting real quick, St. Basil sounds good. Cool. While we're waiting real quick, I do want to mention a couple of things. So we've got our shows on Thursday. This Thursday is going to be in Illuminated Page, where we're still in Australia. A Yithian just appeared. They found one, and then they released it, and who knows what's going to happen. We'll find out on Thursday. We'll be streaming that at 6 p.m. Central Time. And then on Friday, I will be doing my normal Celesta Crown of the Magister stuff. Oh, sweet. I will mention that in just a second, Roxy. Thank you. And then I'm going to be continuing on from there. This weekend is Extra Life's big push. Extra Life is a fundraising group that does work for the Children's Miracle Network hospitals. So here locally in Indianapolis, that's Riley Hospital. And they're all over the United States. There's usually one within 100 miles of wherever most people are, unless you live in some of the more remote areas. But for me personally, I've known several people that had to go to Riley. It's the best children's hospital in the area, and definitely takes care of the kids, make sure that they're healthy and safe. So every year, Extra Life does some fundraising. So I will be doing 24 hours of live streaming, starting at 7 p.m. with 7 p.m. Central Time with Celesta, and then I will run until 7 p.m. the next night. And we'll see what that looks like. I don't know what all I'm playing yet. I know that there's some talk about Saturday doing some Among Us and some Jackbox games. If you are interested, if you, our viewers at home, are interested in playing either one of those games with me on Twitch, send me a message. Tweet me, send me a message here, call me out on Facebook, like whatever you want to do, let me know. And we'll see about getting you guys in. I can't guarantee that everybody will get in because, there's only so many slots. But I like Among Us. It's fun. I have Jackbox 3 and 6, so there's some good trivia and there's some good word games. But let me know about those, and then I'm gonna try and talk my son into maybe playing maybe some X-Wing or maybe some Warhammer on a table, and I'm gonna see if I can get that set up too and see how that goes. But I'm also gonna pull out Roxy. I hope you're excited, but I'm gonna also pull out Mass Effect and pick up where I was at, which hopefully I'll be able to remember where I was at and what the heck I was doing. But I'm going to play some Mass Effect 1 on my Xbox 360. I'll blow the dust off of it. And we'll see how far I get in that before I get frustrated with it again. But who knows? It wasn't even that I was frustrated. I was doing too many side quests and not enough of the main story. I will warn you, I am absolute trash at first-person shooters, but I like the storytelling. So, yeah, Mass Effect is pretty all right about it. And I would also suggest, I will also probably end up playing a little bit more of Solasta, and then a little bit more of or a little bit of Fallout 76, because I've got dailies I got to grind on. So, yeah. So we've got events for everything, I think, except Extra Life up on Facebook. You should definitely check that out. The Facebook link is in the chat. If it's not in there yet, it will be in just a second when Roxy gets to that, because I know she's really good at this. But also, if you're going to watch this weekend, I do have a goal for Extra Life that I've already forgotten how much it is, because I changed it like 3 times. But oops, that's not Extra Life. Extra Life. Fantastic. Oh, it's $500. So, yeah, I've got a goal of $500 that I want to try and raise, and I've already received a donation from some fine folks that may or may not be in Indiana. They are both in Indiana and not in Indiana. That's how life works. But yeah, so come out, check out the show. Roxy set me up with a great like setup thing. Thank you, Roxy. I really do appreciate it. Hey, every little step, every little bit that goes to Riley, I really, really love. I have in total over the 3 other years that I've raised money, I've only raised about $300. So this year, I made the decision that I was going to push for this. So, hey, Blue. Yes, she does. She has fantastic designs. They're amazing. In fact, everything that you see on the screen that is not my face or other people's faces, that's all Roxy or John in some shape or form. They're both fantastic, and I could not do this without them. So yeah, so I'll be streaming all Friday night into Saturday. Come check on me at like 5 in the morning, because I don't know, it'll be late, but that'll be when we'll play a fun game called Read the Inside of My Eyelids. Hey, good to see you, Levi. I saw Amanda just a little bit ago. It's good to have everybody on. We made a few choices. I'm going to go back to that in a second, but I thought I'd plug everything while I was here. Extra Life is something that's really close to my heart. And the group here that was doing it in Indianapolis were all pretty freaking rad. So I'm glad to get back to it this year. I forgot about it until this last weekend, and I'm glad that something popped up and reminded me. Yeah, right? You would think that Roxy is a professional layout artist or something, and that she, should be hired by a company, any company that thinks that they could use her services, because she's fantastic. And I could tell you all about tell you all about her freelance work in fantastic games such as Star Trek Star Trek Adventures. She's done some great work over there. And Adventure a Week? Yeah, Adventure a Week. Make an honest professional out of me. Yeah, definitely. If anybody has need of Roxanne is a great worker. So I'm going to get back to the story. Let's pull this back up so I can reread it. So basically, we're deciding where we're going to go first. Each location, there are 3 locations. Each location has a different attitude, has 3 different attitudes. Sorry. Dr. Call seems like the hardest one, so I'm kind of leaning towards number 9. That's this one right here. Although St. Basil's is going to be closer and easier, so yeah, it's kind of up to what you guys think. I'm going to let it sit for a second so you can read through it. Oh, and don't forget to join our Discord server where we're posting great pictures of vegetarian chili tonight. Oh, I get you. Oh, okay, I see what you're saying. I think no matter what, any of these three are going to be major plot points. That the way that I want to say Mark, what's his name, Kyle. The way that Kyle has written this so far, it very much feels like every one of these points is going to lead to something. But I also different kind of pork there, Roxy. um, um, so yeah, I think that each one is going to get a good plot point, but I don't know. I'm up for whatever you guys think is best, and we'll figure that out. Water, yeah, I brought water down here too. All right, so hydrate definitely. Hello. Oh, John. I love you guys. You're all great. So, I think we're leaning at 3 or 9 was what we were leaning at earlier. I don't know if um, Mooncrow or Deadlock or the Far Lane have thoughts. St. Basil's it is. There, off we go. Chapter 4. I'm gonna actually look at my stats again before I forget, because later I might have to make rolls. I just need to look over them. Not good at intimidation or streetwise, or combat, or firearms, or clan. I'm doing really great on all these skills. I feel like I need more skills and more attributes, but that's all right. That's all right. We'll get there, David. Don't worry about it. So, Chapter 4, St. Basil's Hospital. Tucson, Arizona, night of November 6th. Hey, we're almost caught up with the game. That's great. Sunrise, 6:45 a.m. You drive the BMW around your parking lot a few times, getting a feel for it as the lights come on over Tucson. The gray sedan feels shakier than during your test drive, and there's a lot of rust and interior damage. Still, when you drop the hammer, the little BMW picks right up to speed, and it still feels tough and solid in the sea of Chevy Silverados and Ford Raptors you weave through as you head uptown. You spot the Viper nightclub, accelerate hard, and screech to a halt outside the glass-lined VIP entrance. Why would I be doing this at sunrise? I don't know. It's still early, and the party won't start for hours. I would hope not, since it's 6:45 in the morning. I'm confused there. That's all right. We're going to keep going. But Latau is already awake. You see his eagle, Riga, perched nearby. You sort through the maps and guides, checking nearby hotels and making sure you have a place to stay in Phoenix if you can't make it there and back in one night. Oh, I see. Yeah, that makes a lot more sense. Yeah, when sunrise is, so we can watch our clock. Yeah, no, that I think you're right, Roxy. That makes a ton more sense. Sorry, I'm in a cold basement. I have to readjust my blanket. Da, da, da. You sort through your maps and guides, checking nearby hotels, making sure you have a place to stay in Phoenix if you can't make it there and back in one night. A mortal flunky in an Ed Hardy shirt runs up to your BMW with a portable push-button lockbox like the ones outside Airbnbs. He also gives you a pass so you can get inside St. Basil's as a janitor, and says he's in the morgue. You would make a smart vamp. Gross, train him. Yeah, you toss the box into your duffel bag, pass the clip the pass to your lanyard, and peel out. Okay, thank you. I had to go look up who Ed Hardy was because I'm old. As always, you've done your research. St. Basil's Hospital in Phoenix is a crowded, underfunded Catholic hospital that began as a psychiatric facility. It was corrupt even before the Canaanites moved in, with multiple scandals involving patient abuse, embezzlement, and accounting fraud that reached the local papers. You've already noted exits, nearby safe houses, good places to park. Yeah, I did. I'm an old man. I'm an old man, Amanda. I'm old. I tell you how old, but I have to go get my walker to come up there to tell you how old I am. Yeah, I don't listen. I have gaps in my knowledge, and Ed Hardy was one of them, and now it isn't anymore. And now I know. Whatever. Um, something. Noted exits, safe places, good places to park, and several abandoned buildings where you can hide if things go bad. Julian calls you somewhere around exit 200. If I remember, I do remember John and Kate plus 8. I'm not sure that I like that, but yeah. Also, 8 kids is a lot. I love my one child, and that is just about it. Okay. Um, do you know what's on the USB? He asks. You glance at your duffel bag. You have no idea how to open the push button lock, and besides, the USB is probably encrypted. Then you glance at your phone. Julian is insane to call you. Anybody could be listening. Before you can answer, Julian says, St. Basil's is getting a makeover. Big floor-to-ceiling windows, a modern admission system, a new morgue. In other words, no place for rats like us to hide. The Eagle thinks it's an SI plot. I'm not so sure, though I bet they'd love to pick off the homeless rats when they're forced to flee. Since the Eagle doesn't want that, the USB you're carrying contains instructions on how to freeze out the hospital's current director and keep things as they are. Listen, John and Kate plus 8 was a train wreck, and I often remember train wrecks much more than I remember tattoos. Uh, yeah, that's what I'm going to go with. there's not a there's not an emoji adequate enough to express your eye roll. Aw, really? Oh, there really isn't. That's sad. Wow. So, but we can do better, Ransom. Tucson's boss is a brilliant financier. I'll give him that. And the artificial paper trail he's created will bury the current director, force her out in favor of some brainless lackey, and keep his creatures safe. But it can also be used to transfer power to someone else, someone like us. I mean, any Brujah. It doesn't have to even be old ones. Young La Sombra, probably. I don't know. There also might, since it's tattoos, the idea of changing your body, it could be Zamishi. I'm gonna be honest, Roxy. All of the clans are kind of douchey. All of them, just in their own ways. Doesn't matter. All of them are douchey. But the douchiest ones are the Toreador, because they're super artsy and super better than everyone else. Oh yeah, no, I get it. They're fake tattoos, but Zamishis would probably understand that. You wanted what it was. Yes, this. I mean, yeah, this is the Camarilla. All of them, all of them. So we're okay. You consider what to say. You shouldn't be having this kind of conversation over the phone. But so far, Julian has avoided saying any keywords that might get flagged. You just need to do the same, and then get rid of the phone. Great, that's another $100. Taking over a whole hospital? That's ambitious, Julian. I'm legitimately excited about this audacious plan, but I want more information. What about the SI? I'm not scared. Just the opposite. I'd love to tear a hole into the Second Inquisition and neutralize them before they get rolling. We can't just take a hammer to St. Basil's. I don't know. I don't want to make a mess. Panicked kindred can violate the masquerade, steal our assets to escape, or worse. You know what? I'm not going to kill a bunch of cancer patients so you can have a new base, right? Give me details. My real plan is to clear out the parasites in this hospital, so I just let Julian talk as I figure out how to stop Pattermuster. 3 or 5. 3 or 5. Really? Okay. Sounds like 3 or 5. Okay. Yeah, I like 3. I really do like 3. 3. John is in rare form, but it's good rare form. I like it. Yeah, I think we'll go with 3. Hammers are for rabble, Ransom, Julian says. I use a scalpel. All we're doing is transferring control of resources from one of Eagle's flunkies to me. The situation on the ground for the local parasites won't change until later. It censored you? I don't see. Did it censor you? Huh. I don't see where it did. I don't know. Maybe I'm missing it, but I don't see anything on my end. Oh. The process is simple. Gain access to the St. Basil's computer system and install the computer code I'm sending you. It's self-executing, so just drag and drop the little file and then double click it. You just don't let the local boss figure out what you're doing until it's too late. One last thing. There's a Motel 6 a mile up the road. Walk into the public restroom on the second floor. Leave your phone in the trash. Don't destroy the sim. Aha, a little pun there. Anyway, I put a fresh phone under the bathroom sink. Do all of that, and the SI team on your tail won't find and destroy you. Oh, I forgot there's supposedly one on our tail. I mean, you did just, I don't know, hostile. Yeah, John's like not the hostile dude. Twitch. Good luck, Ransom. Okay, cool. He hangs up. You pull into the Motel 6, do what you're told. The new phone is another disposable burner. Julian, you realize, isn't hiding from the Second Inquisition. He's using what they think they know to move around the board. To move them around the board in a game you don't fully understand. You wonder if the Banu Hakim fully understand the game he's playing. As you get back into the BMW, your new phone buzzes when an email arrives with a zipped executable file. You stop to check the email and commit it to memory because it includes an updated list of keywords the SI is scanning for. Yeah, douche. I mean, listen. Douche is, yeah, I guess it's an aggressive word. Sure. Makes sense. Traffic is thick that evening, so it takes you almost 2 hours to reach your destination. You turn left at the Circle K and have no problem finding a parking spot near a chain link fence. You step back and examine your car. Satisfied, you can reach it from multiple directions. Your knockoff Panerai says 8:25 p.m. St. Basil's is a Baroque monstrosity that looks like an invader from an older and darker city back east. Its bricks are discolored, its windows high and narrow, and one domed attempt to modernize the structure just makes it look like a prison with a single watchtower of dingy glass and black steel. You can feel the sickness emanating off of St. Basil's, the impossibility of healing. Sure. I'm not sure why I'm struggling with that. You watch the main entrance for a few minutes, feeling out the rhythms of the patients and the staff, then walk around to the emergency entrance. Neon yellow ambulances look like space invaders among the crumbling gray bricks. A few EMTs are outside smoking cigarettes under the smoking sign. Another entrance is locked and heaped with trash, broken beds and furniture that no one ever got rid of. You don't see any other ways in that aren't locked with mechanical or electronic locks. There aren't a lot of cameras out here. That's good to know. Yeah, I mean, all of them. I mean, all phones can open zip files now, right? This is the world of darkness. This is the darkest timeline where phones can open zip files. That's how the world of darkness works. Are you gonna read the story, Duke? Okay. Um, you leave. Well, you don't live in the darkest timeline yet. Yet. You leave your Lobo outside, promising them that you'll find them in. You'll let them in if something interesting happens, something dangerous happens. Then you shoulder your duffel bag. Yeah, we Duke's opinion is that if the uh, Eagle Prince will let him look out the window, he's good. That's what his opinion's been all day. He just wants to look out the window. That's all he wants. And to scream for no reason. But both are good. Um, where are you even at, Cat? Doesn't matter. Then you shoulder your duffel bag, walk into reception, and immediately understand why Latau gave you a pass key. The place is locked down like a liquor store. The reception desk is behind shatterproof glass or shatterproof plastic. The the elevator is locked with a key code, and the main double doors that lead deeper into the hospital aren't just locked, they're watched by a private security guard. The waiting area is full of people slumped in slashed up wooden chairs with orange cushions. It smells like apple juice and bleach. Yeah, this is Blue. This one is surprisingly well written with the way it all works and flows together. I've been very impressed. But John and Roxy did a pirate one a couple of months ago, and they said that they were impressed by that too, and they really give you a lot of choices. It's a lot of fun, and they've got a ton of them. Really? Please don't start that. Okay. He's on my last nerve today. Yeah, Seventh Sea Pirates Pact. They played that one and said it was a lot of fun, and they've got a ton. They've got a bunch that are in their own set in their own little worlds. But this just came out a few weeks ago, right before we started it, and I've really enjoyed it. It's very clear that the writer knows the setting and is deep into the settings material and understands it very, very well, and then plus knows things like there's a lot of information about watches in this. The writer, I think, really likes watches as a whole. Come here. Julian babbling something about how modern statecraft is largely a project of internal and colonization. Whatever, you have a key. You swipe yourself through. The light flashes red. Oh, that's not good. Yeah, it is. It is very much a choose your own adventure. So here, actually, well, I'll walk you through it because I know you're not the only new watcher on here. But so when we started the game, it has actual stats. So it's run off of the 5th edition Vampire the Masquerade set. So like all the stuff here is directly from that. When we started, I didn't have any of this. Everything was blank except I had a dot of drive and I think a dot of awareness. And then as we made choices, it filled in the rules and gave us stuff. So it breaks down where your relationships are with everybody. Oh, my relationships have gotten worse. Good deal. But I also have an inventory. So I've not got an old crappy car, but it's a BMW. I've got money. I've got some, other stuff. And then it has a journal to walk you through everything you would need to know. So even if you haven't ever dealt with Vampire the Masquerade before, it's got everything you need, and it'll walk you through it. And it's really pretty helpful. And then it has storyteller mode, so a lot of the choices are based off of if your stats, and if you have it on, it'll tell you what stats. If you have it off, it just doesn't tell you, but you have that option. And then I'm trying to think of what else but there was a ton here that was really good. So as we've been going through it, it has been popping things up. I didn't even see the achievement button. Now I'm gonna. Oh, sweet! I can get achievements. I didn't. Fantastic! I had no idea I could get achievements. Use Stonehenge to teleport a vampire to Mesopotamia. I don't know how the story is going to get there, but I'm here for it. Huh. Okay, we're going to Stonehenge, I guess, guys. Or maybe we're not because I made the wrong choices. Who knows? Yeah. So this one's really cool. The last one, I think John and Roxy said that was like 650,000 words. Right. Don't look, spoilers. This one's like 770,000 words. So obviously, I'm not going to read all of them. I wasn't cheating. I wasn't. I was just amazed that there were achievements, and then I read the wrong one. So like 770 words. They took more than a month to play through the last one, and I think they were going a little bit faster than I am. I'll be honest. But yeah, it's pretty in depth. It's pretty solid. There's some. Oh, I'll show you those because there are pictures for NPCs that are really pretty thorough. Maybe I don't know where they're at. Maybe, oh, it's right there, characters. So, there's Julian. Or no, that's Ayla. Is that Ayla? That's not Ayla. That's Julian. So Julian's kind of cute. That's the prince. He is, the Eagle Prince. This is Dove. And Dove is a very angry person and does not like us at all. And then we met Elena. No, that's not Elena, is it? Yeah. Yeah. At the pawn shop. There are definitely there's some very Twilighty things in Vampire. It's just a lot darker. So they like to think that they're like a very dark, a world of darkness kind of story. And in a lot of ways they are. It just depends on how the story's told. And this one seems pretty thorough. There's a lot of like abandoned structures, and everything's a little off and not great. So, but yeah, the story is really good. The journal is super helpful. I probably should have looked through the journal before I started tonight, remind myself where I was at. But I bought this through Steam. And so when I shut it down and reopen it, it just starts me back where I was at. So it saves my progress and everything. It's really pretty cool. And then I can restart. I should just not even put my cursor near that button because that would be a really bad time. But you can just restart so you can play through it a couple of times. Oh, yeah. Latau is definitely a Cullen. Yeah. Yeah. But that doesn't mean that we don't like him. So, of course, I'm going to get back to the story. So, of course, you try again because it's an old-fashioned magnetic strip card. The light flashes red again. The guard, bright yellow taser on his left hip, Ruger LC9 on his right, hasn't looked up from his game of Candy Crush. But one of the receptionists is watching you. Shit, this is your first night working for the Tucson Camarilla, and things have already gone sideways. You can't just stand here running this busted card through again and again. This is the sort of place you can talk your way into. You scan the waiting patients and counting the junkies. There are a lot. Yeah, that's true. Twilight is the kid brother, and there are a lot of drawbacks to being a vampire. None of them. I won't say none of them. I'm sure there are vampires in the world of darkness that sparkle, but not the same. Um, exactly. Yes. Eggplant emoji. Thanks. Um, does one of them have bite marks? Some amateur vampire didn't lick the wound clean? Or worse, the kindred here are so thin blooded that they don't even have that ability. Instead of worrying about that, you focus on finding a way in. There are three ways inside from this room: the double doors with the card reader that won't read your card, a staff door that's locked from from this side, and you can't exactly pick a lock in front of the guard, and an elevator which is locked with a keypad. You saw some unattended entrances outside, but all the ones you noticed had mechanical locks. Maybe you missed one, and you could search again though. It wouldn't be easy to skulk around outside without drawing attention. So this is where these will show me stats. So my dexterity plus my clandestine, which is terrible. My strength plus clandestine, which is terrible. I do have sub or technology. I'm actually pretty smart too. Um, I have animalism, obviously. I mean, kinda, but also like if the sun touches you, you burn in a flame that hurts worse than anything you've ever experienced. That is kind of a bad thing. And also, when the sun comes up, you get so sleepy that you just fall asleep and can't wake up at all. And you have to wear really douchey clothes all the time. That is also a Vampire the Masquerade rule. Um. Okay, so I head outside and pick the lock on one of the unattended doors. That's Dex and Clandestine. I'm not good at either of those. I head outside and bash open one of the windows to crawl inside. That's Strength and Clandestine. Also not good at those. I fast talk the guard and convince him that I'm an outside researcher who needs to get inside. That's Manipulation plus Subterfuge or Technology. Um, I hack the elevator keypad to gain access. That's Intelligence and Technology. I investigate the building's exterior, trying to puzzle out where an unattended entrance might be. Investigation and Intelligence. Moon Moon and I look for an unlocked way in. Moon Moon is my pet wolf. Uh, that's Animalism. Time to use my people skills and street smarts. It should be easy to go back outside and pay somebody who works here like $50 to let me in. Manipulation and streetwise. Doors outside are constantly opening and closing. It'll take great patience and attention to wait it out, but stay put outside and then sneak in when there's an opening. Is there anywhere to go to feed before I go inside? I'm feeling like either the Moon Moon and I look for a way in, or I hack the. Let me go look at my manipulation because I think it's trash. It's trash. So yeah, my manipulation is trash. So I'm feeling like hacking the elevator. Yeah. Um, Animalism or do the investigation. My intelligence is pretty okay. My investigation is not bad. So yeah, those three are probably the best options. Um, the guard's not really paying attention. Yeah, they really are. I really think the elevator is the way to go. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that. Why are you're killing me, Roxy? You're right. Okay, Moon Moon it is. We're going Moon Moon. With nothing else to do, your Lobo is happy to pad behind you, eyes faintly luminous in the dingy yellow light of the sodium lamps. What the heck are sodium lamps? Oh, those old. Okay. Yep. Gotcha. As you both look for a way inside, you head back outside before the guard gets up and sweep the hospital's exterior again. There's one particularly tempting entrance for food services right next to the kitchen, but the problem is it's under video surveillance. You sidle up to it anyway, then look directly up at the camera. It's hollow. It's just a piece of plastic with fake wires stuck to the wall. You walk, you walk right inside. Wow. Well, that was easy. Once you're inside, no one bothers you. Did Moon Moon come with me? Because I hit the bring Moon Moon along, but okay, whatever. Um, the stone walls of St. Basil's are unnaturally cold for an Arizona autumn. They imported the chill and damp from some 19th century mental hospital in London or Massachusetts. Though painted lines on the linoleum floors are supposed to lead to intensive care, orthopedics, radiology, etc., according to the paper maps on the wall, they have a way of fading out or vanishing, turning the near windowless corridors into a labyrinth. Even your meticulous prep work was not enough, and even your sense of empathy, numbed by years of survival as one of the living dead, can feel the miasma of sorrow and regret that hangs over St. Basil's. This sounds like a great hospital. It's ugly, but this is what we have to do to survive. The kindred are awful creatures, and this is what we turn everything we touch into. Maybe I can find a way to help everyone here, kindred and kind. I'm only concerned with violations of the Masquerade that might get us in trouble. Do I see any problems? I'm leaning on the last one. I like the last one quite a bit. Do you guys have any thoughts? Sweet. Roxy, you are gifted again. You just gotta want to stay on top of that list, don't you? I don't blame you. But thank you for gifting that GM's cut. Welcome to being a subscriber. You get fancy benefits like being the coolest person here, just like everyone else. Oh, you're not even on, are you? Maybe you are. Yeah, you are. Okay, had to had to refresh that. But thanks for coming out. 3 or 4. Okay, I like 4. I like 4 a lot. I think I'm gonna lean towards 4 because that seems to be everybody's thought process. You quickly spot a major problem. It's a good thing we chose 4. There's a stretcher in one hallway that looks like it's been unattended for days. Flies swirl as you pull the blanket off the corpse. You can see the chew marks on the neck and wrist. You're not Camarilla, but you instinctively recoil at such an obvious violation of the Masquerade. Um, you've you sympathize with Prince Latau. Someone needs to bring this place back in line. You finally find a sign that says morgue, but as you trot down the hall, you hear hushed and panicky voices from a side corridor. St. Basil's is full of quiet, desperate sounds, but you know the smell of fresh blood. You poke your head around the corner. We should get a doctor, a thin woman with a thin voice says. Oh shit, his neck. Oh shit, his neck. A dying man lies on the desk of a low-ceiling office, blood pumping from the wound on his neck and stomach. On the far side of the painfully thin woman, also helping to hold the dying man down, is the Bruja you recognize as Pattermuster. The photo only hinted at something you see clearly in real life. Vampires do not age, but some people are born old, and their spirit keeps aging as their flesh remains immortal. Pattermuster should be a good-looking guy, a black guy, mid-20s, athletic, short black beard and close-cropped hair, but somehow he looks old, as if there's a bald, fat, tired man where his shadow should be. Crinkled lines around his eyes and a slowness to his step reveal Pattermuster's true age. In real life, he'd be stepping into the grave around now, and it's like he knows. He looks up, and his hands, previously holding onto the dying man, slacken. The thin woman wheezes and stumbles backwards into a trash can. Shit, he says. You can almost see the vitae crackling through his veins as he prepares to unleash some Bruja powers. Before he can bolt across the office faster than a cheetah and punch your head off, you hold up your duffel bag. Courier, you say. Whatever, Pattermuster says as the dying man thrashes. Come here and hold Miguel down. You don't give Miguel good odds. Might as well make a good first impression. I help Pattermuster hold the dying man down. If it's so important that you save him, give him some vitae. I just deliver messengers and get paid. I wait for Pattermuster to finish his business with the dying man. This man is dying anyway. I drain him of blood. Yeah, some shit is definitely going down. Number 2 sounds good. Is that what we're leaning towards? Yeah, number 2. Cool. Cool. Let's do that then. He's already a ghoul. Well, okay. Struggling to hold the dying man down, and I couldn't get more blood into. The man vomits blood and rolls off the desk. He dies, legs kicking on the linoleum floor. You know, Pattermuster says, there's no reason to let it go to waste. Pattermuster and the thin woman, dive on the corpse, draining it in a matter of seconds. When the Brujah gets up, he dabs his lip with the dead man's handkerchief and says, "You must work for Latau." He mentioned a name. Are you Dimitri? No, he's dead. Ransom, right? I guess you did a better job than Miguel here. He gestures at the withered corpse. Who attacked him? I'd like to know if I'm next. Poor guy, I never met him, but I doubt he deserved that. If this guy was one of yours, Pattermuster, and you want me to kill whoever killed him, I'm for hire. I'm just here to drop off a USB. Yeah, Roxy, we were trying to do some good. It's just too late, you know. How that goes. That's not a big deal. Whatever. 1 or 4. Yeah, I'm feeling like we need to know who attacked him, because I think we need to know what's going on here. What do you guys think? Number 1. Cool. Oh, goodness. Sorry. All right, we're going to go with number 1. Yeah, I'm on number 1. Good. No idea, Pattermuster said, but I know why Miguel was killed. The Brujah rummages around into the dead man's pockets until he finds a card for the Viper nightclub with a 4-digit code written on the back. Give me what you brought, he says. You toss him the lock, he punches the code on the card into the lock, and it opens, revealing a USB. Rita May, get all this cleaned up, Pattermuster tells the thin woman. Ransom and I need to talk. All right. Also, I forgot all the vampires. All of them are good looking. Doesn't matter. Except for Dove. But, you know, that's why it sucks to be a Nosferatu. Pattermuster has done... I don't think we do need the code. I think that code goes to them. Pattermuster has done everything he can to make his large, low-ceilinged office look impressive. He's cluttered it with centuries-old worth of executive power idols, from the Art Nouveau furniture in shiny mahogany to the mid-century modern lighting fixtures to the little chrome clicky balls on the desk. The result is a confused agglutination of talismans with no consistency or powers to impress. Scrubsturk. Yeah, well, it's like he's got a fat old bald man like deep inside him. Scrubsturk, only hotter. Yeah. Pattermuster, currently wearing scrubs so he won't draw attention, settles himself in an Aeron chair behind the desk. His head is haloed by a water stain on the concrete wall. The walls are otherwise lined with vintage automobile ads, like in Jay Leno's garage. He opens a laptop and plugs in the USB. He leans back, and 2 katanas appear in his hands as if from nowhere. You blink. It's a trick Stercorius taught me, Pattermuster says. These are my friends, Duncan and Connor. Oh my god. He twirls the blades through the air. You almost laugh, but shit, he really knows how to handle them. Getting on the wrong side of those blades might be a bad idea. The blades vanish just as suddenly as they appear, and Pattermuster turns his attention to what's on the screen. Oh no. Oh no. The marriage is crumbling in the comments. Um the Bruja takes his time reading whatever Latau sent over. You wait. Finally, he leans forward and says, "I know that Latau didn't just send you to deliver a letter. You're supposed to see how we're doing. The Eagle Prince isn't happy with us." Oh no! But Fringe is so good. Also, what kind of douchebag names? Never mind. This is a vampire game. I already had the answer to my question. What is our relationship? Sexy times and fart jokes, Roxy. He's right. Sexy times and fart jokes. I can't say I'm impressed either. This place is a masquerade breach waiting to happen, and that puts us all in danger. Maybe I could be persuaded to offer Prince Latau a positive review of St. Basil's. I feel much better about this place with a little more money in my pocket. This place is an abattoir. Even vampires shouldn't behave this way. I couldn't definitely see how this place could be. I could definitely see how this place could be run better by someone like me. Wheels are turning in my head as I imagine a more efficient St. Basil's. Well, I'm not happy with the Eagle Prince. I'm an independent courier, not a Camarilla lapdog. I mean, all of these are kind of aggressive except for that last one. Also, Hugh uses the word avatar. Never mind, it's Vampire the Masquerade. I already answered my own question. Yeah, right? Right? Who uses that word? The guy that names his swords after Highlander. Really? Huh. You like number one? I like number two. Mostly because I just don't like not having money. But yeah, we could always use more money. I also have like a ridiculous upkeep that I'm a little concerned about. Yeah, our upkeep is $485. I'm not even sure what that means. I just like saying abattoir. That's it. Um, what do you guys, David or Moon Crow? Do you guys have any thoughts? Oh, do the character description. Abattoir. No, it's abattoir. I, I, I feel like well, what's his name? What is his name? I can see his face. William Shatner. Follow your heart. I feel like William Shatner pronouncing sabotage, or as he says it, sabotage. You're lost. I'm number one. Number one it is. Here we go. What was I gonna do? Oh, I need to check out the journal. Is that what you're saying, Roxy, for Pattermuster? Oh my. Shadowy ruler of St. Basil's Hospital in Phoenix, dedicated to protecting the riffraff and cast-offs of the Camarilla. It doesn't. It does not describe him as bald. All right, here we go. Well, it's going to get worse, Pattermuster says. That new director, Sorelli, she's spoken with the city about a full renovation. Windows, Ransom. Floor to ceiling windows. And worse, a remote administration system. If that happens, half the kindred here are doomed. I don't want that, and neither does Prince Latau. Director Corelli's already installed cameras upstairs. Her monitoring station is right down the hall. She fucking knows who I am. Not what I am, but what if she figures out? No, so what it was describing is that his like the essence of his person continues to age. It's a flaw that you can take in vampire. Um, it just has some negative things to it, but like basically he still ages and you can feel it, not necessarily see it. So he's still really pretty because he's a vampire. But then, he looks decrepit when you get to know him a little bit. It's kind of the way to describe it. You wait for Pattermuster's offer. Technically, you've already done your job, and maybe this is an opportunity to move into the ivory tower itself. The information Latau sent me is enough to get rid of Director Corelli and return the hospital to my direct control. There won't be any renovations, any threat to my people, or to Latau's base of power. But I need your help. My people, they're all right, but look, they're fucking worthless when it comes to this kind of work. I'm going to need help getting this information onto the director's computer so we can make sure she's stopped. And of course, I'm willing to pay $1,000 once it's done, plus there will always be a place for you here. It's not much, but a vault in the morgue is better than nothing is better than a morning in the park, you know? Are you in? bite me, Vampy. $1,000. I can make more money waiting tables. I need to persuade him to cough up more cash, but then yeah, I'll help. I'll help, but you need to clean up your act before the Camarilla realizes how bad this place is. I lock gazes with Pattermuster. He needs to understand how much trouble he's in. I'll work to stop the expansion, but I'm not working for you. I call the shots on this op, and I need to make it clear that I'm taking the lead. I want to prove my value right away by having a look at this monitoring station. Maybe I can use my computer skills to seize control of it and at least shut it down. Fine, I'll help. I won't even make demands. Just offer my services. I'm just a courier, Pattermuster. Do your own work. There is no Moon Moon option. Moon Moon is not good with computers. I don't trust my sleeping body. Yeah, I'm leaning towards number 4 because we are actually good with intelligence and technology. But also the rest of them it's a lot of talky. I feel like we're a man of action. We're a person of action. We're a person. Yeah. 4 is good. Play to your strengths. Yep, yeah, I gotta kind of play to your strengths. Especially since we chose those strengths. So we should play to them. Cool. Where's the monitoring station, you ask? Pattermuster waves for you to follow and takes you to an unlocked, unoccupied closet that smells like mold and Fanta. That is a very specific choice of smells. Mold and Fanta. Like, I can smell that. And it's not my basement. My basement does not smell like mold or Fanta. 4 old tower CPUs are wired together on a shelf, but there's no keyboard or monitor. I could just start pulling out wires, but Director Corelli would know, he says, and I don't want her thinking about me until she's gone. Still, can you do anything about this? You go back to Pattermuster's office, take his laptop, and plug it in. Solid question, what kind of Fanta? WCW arena smell. Ooh, that's a very specific smell too, John. Ooh. A few minutes on Shonen helps you figure out what the director can see. And after poking around the parts of her network she's secured with weak passwords, you're able to give Pattermuster good news. She has all sorts of digital infrastructure in place for the eventual upgrade, you say, but there's almost no physical infrastructure, at least not yet. There are only a handful of actual cameras and a few newer key card readers, most of them upstairs. No, Roxy, boo. Boo. Shame on you. You send him a PDF list listing everything she can access, where it is, and what password is it's currently using, if any. The director hasn't secured most of her systems yet, and where she would have to expand her physical hardware in order to match the software. Oh, I'm just gonna not sing the comments. This is great, Pattermuster says. Shit, I need a full-time tech person. You did it more in an hour than I've been able to do all month. Here. He peels off a roll of 20s. Buy yourself something pretty. Ooh. And if you need anything else, just let me know. Pattermuster cocks his ear, then says, my phone. Grab your shit and get out. You follow as he hurries back to his office. Hello? What? Well, the blood can't be everywhere. Surely that's an exaggeration. Okay, fine. Okay, I'll get. Okay, 5 minutes. What? No, sissy, Spacek. No, sissy. You're thinking of Rosemary's Baby. No, Carrie had a prom scene. What with all the pigs? Yes, it was Sissy Spacek, I'm sure. That much blood? Jesus. Okay, hold. Okay, 5 minutes. He hangs up. I need to go deal with a thing. Understatement. He opens an Art Deco bureau in black lacquer and brushed aluminum, pulls out a stack of scrubs, sizes you up for a second, then tosses you a pair. He rummages around in a bin until he finds a lanyard with a picture that looks kind of like you. Wear these, no one will pay attention to you. You're in the top left. Top left? The lanyard has an aluminum key attached to it. In the morgue. Don't worry, it's not cold. No sunlight, and everyone down there works for me, so you're safe. Get a feel of the place. Director Corelli's office is guarded even at night, so I'm going to need you to look around for a way in. Once you're ready, we'll sneak inside and plant all the incriminating evidence on her computer. Right now, I need to go deal with something. Show yourself out. You change, stuff your regular clothes into the duffel bag, and head to the morgue. Your slab in the upper left looks cozy. It's made up like a hospital bed with sheets and everything. You've slept in worse places. There's even a neglected lost and found nearby where your Lobo can stay. So if anything goes wrong, Moon Moon will be there for you. Yay! Yeah, the Tremere is you have to pay extra for that. So yeah, that's why we don't have a Tremere. You're not alone in the morgue, and that evening you meet the locals. The skeletally thin Rita May is a caitiff or of Ventrue descent, a vain and prim fallen aristocrat who can't seem to keep blood off her lips. Pattermuster you've already met. The Nosferatu Stercorius sleeps above you, but he keeps a large haven in the basement with his rats. The Eagle Prince gets an eagle, the rat beggars get rats, Rita May quips. Others are in and out. A Japanese Malkavian who claims he was martyred in the 17th century and resurrected by Jesus Christ. Two thin bloods covered in scabs that never go away. A woman who might be a ghost or some other kind of thing you don't know much about. They're sad, poisonous little creatures. The increasingly elitist Camarilla would be disgusted to count them as members. The only problem now is that you're hungrier and hungrier. You're getting hungrier and hungrier. You really ought to do something about that. I prey on the sick and infirm while they're asleep. I need to decipher their medical charts to make sure I'm not targeting anyone with diseases of the blood. That actually sounds like the best one already. I'll prey on the physically injured. It'll take stealth and steady nerves to sneak into those wards, but their blood should be healthy. St. Basil's keeps bagged blood behind an old combination lock. I'm smart enough to get into the vaults. I don't feed just yet. Got to lean towards those strengths. The chronically ill in St. Basil's are kept in a dreary, low-ceilinged ward out of the way of the hospital personnel. They're often grouped 4 or 8 to a room and neglected by the nursing staff for hours or even days. This makes stealth a non-issue. There's always a room full of unconscious people. The only trick is figuring out who is safe to drink by reading the old-fashioned binders clipped to their beds. Most diseases cannot harm your lifeless organs, but there are certain blood-based pathogens that can leave you physically weakened. But a quick examination of the medical charts turns up nothing you need to worry about. You find a particularly healthy-looking specimen recovering from a staph infection, and sink your fangs into his neck, savoring the way the clean blood mingles with the tainted flesh. You lick the wound clean and pad out of the ward, sated. You spent the next few nights just getting a feel for the hospital, its deranged layout, and its ugly, secret little corridors where the sick huddle and the vampires feed, followed by Moon Moon in their service dog vest. You listen in on doctors and insurance executives as they conspire and embezzle, nurses as they sell opiates to patients, and people waiting outside, doped up patients who keep asking what happened to their cell phone and if their families know they're there. You check out urgent care where accident victims are forced to sign whatever is put in front of them before they're brought inside, the furnace where surgeons dispose of evidence of their botched operations, and the lobby where, it seems, the same people are always sitting, waiting for help that won't come. And, of course, you spend time upstairs, outside Director Corelli's office. The guards never leave, but her security isn't impenetrable. You just need to find a way through. It would be easier with Pattermuster, but he's busy dealing with one crisis after another. That makes me not want to go to a hospital ever again. With your scrubs and lanyard, you are able to move freely around the hospital, but you're starting to feel watched. You're invisible to the regular guards and the dull-eyed men and women with black St. Basil's polo shirts and bright yellow tasers. But you keep seeing people with short-cropped hair, military boots, black windbreakers that are just too heavy for the weather outside. The black jackets operate out of a sealed, windowless office separated from the mostly abandoned rehab service wing by particle board walls and old office equipment. They keep looking at you out of the corner of their eyes. The more time you spend in the administrative wing, the more they look at you. It's different people every time, and you're sure they're professionals. You're not sure. Sorry. Oh, bye. You're not sure they know what you are, but there are too many of them, and they follow you too closely whenever you're in the public areas of St. Basil's. You don't want to approach the director's office until you know more, but you'll have to be careful. Too many mistakes will expose you and Pattermuster's followers, a clear violation of the Masquerade. I grab bag and interrogate one of the mystery guards. This is a risky two-step operation that requires both stealth and fighting, but it'll get me what I need. I'm going to need Moon Moon's help grabbing one of the guards. That's probably where we're going to end up. Oh, wait, maybe not. I use my phone to research who the guards are. It'll be hard, but shouldn't open me up to too much risk. Time to hit the hospital corridors and do some patient simple investigation, talking to people and looking for clues. This hospital is so old I can fit into the ventilation ducts. I haul myself up, crawl to the guard's office, and hold on to see what I can learn. I tail one guard in my car when he goes home. I'll have to stay cool to avoid notice, but I can probably learn something from following one. I do have drive. My wits is not great, though. I track down some tools. I'm going to drill through the walls between the old rehab services office and their office. I'll have to be smart to find the right spot to drill. Yeah, I like the idea of taking down a guard with Moon Moon. I'm not gonna lie. I'm sorry. Oh. I'm gonna obviously need to alter my sleep and prep for this. You think the one used in tech? The use your phone to do some research? 3? Okay. Cool. 3? Alright. When Amanda doesn't want me to use Moon Moon, that means that there's a problem, obviously. As fun as Mission Impossible adventures might sound, you have a cell phone and a world of information at your fingertips. You take a few surreptitious pictures of the mystery guards. Yeah, I know. that I'm gonna need to sleep way different because if I'm tired at 9:30, it's gonna get real ugly real quick. Moon Moon being safe is good. Um, you take a few surreptitious pictures of the mystery guards, note the gear they carry, then get to work in the empty storeroom outside the morgue. A few searches on Yandex turns up names to go with faces you've photographed, and after that, it's easy. Your target's stint in Afghanistan leads directly to the private security work through a dozen mercenary contractors with fast changing names, then a company called Roadrunner Protection Agency that was investigated in 2016 for its connection to an illicit opioid distribution network that ran all over the Southwest. The company disappears by 2017, but the network definitely didn't. These black jacket cards are just Roadrunner, and they're still running opioids. They're doing it right out of St. Basil's. The next thing you do, sorry, is Yandex the Russian search engine? I think that's what it is. Is it the Google of Russia or the Yahoo of Russia? I mean, it's both wise. Uh, the next thing you do is try to connect every name and face you can find um, to everything you know about the Second Inquisition, the SI's political fronts, militia groups, associated armed forces details, police fraternal organizations, everywhere they operate, everything you know they've infiltrated. And after 3 hours of solid work, that's pretty fast work. You have good news because you have negatives across the board. As far as you can tell, there's no connection between Roadrunner and any faction of SI. Yeah, I watched a YouTube video a while back about the website with the highest number of like usage, and Google was up there for a while, but Yandex is pretty far up because essentially, if you live in Russia, that's the thing you use. So, um, so if you piss them off, they're going to come at you with assault rifles and hand grenades, but not stakes and flamethrowers. That's a relief. The Roadrunner guards are busier now, but they're not paying any attention to you. You spend a few nights scouting the hospital director's office, figuring out ways to get inside. Yes. Yes, David, absolutely. In Soviet Russia, the internet Googles you. That's true. Pattermuster has been unavailable for several nights, even though you've made it clear you'll both need to act soon to make the upload. He returns to the morgue before 7 p.m. just as you're getting dressed after a shower. I want to know. The Brujas shouts back over his shoulder, his ragged voice echoing down the hall. Answers or you're cut off. The thin, pitiful wails of the ghouls reach your ears as you shrug into your leather jacket. Denied vitae, the blood of vampires, St. Basil's ghouls will soon resume aging if they don't go mad from withdrawal first. There's a serious threat. That's a serious threat Pattermuster's making. The Bruja stomps past you, his eyes burning, and slams his fist into one of the slab doors, denting the metal. Then he rips it off its hinges, flings it against the far wall. You know the reputation of the rebels for their terrible fury, so you wait for the storm to pass. Finally, Pattermuster squeezes his temples and crumples against the wall of the morgue. He's ditched his scrubs for a tweed jacket and a bow tie, like a mid-century doctor on holiday. What happened, you ask? Rita Mae's dead, he says. Rita Mae, the painfully thin caitiff, slept in the slab Pattermuster just tore apart. Someone cut off her head. I found the body last night. I was stuck outside the hospital with it all day. I'm going to find out who did this, Ransom. I'm going to kill them. He glares at you with red-rimmed eyes as if you might be responsible. You're not sure you have time for this, but Pattermuster looks haunted. There's a lot of options here. Cool. I don't have time for this. Pull yourself together and stop looking at me like I know anything. I'm doing his job, and I won't be threatened. I try to reason with him and persuade him to be sensible. Let's focus on saving the hospital first, then we can investigate. Sound good? I'm not wasting time on a dead kid if I have real work to do. So, show me the body. I'll run an impromptu medical examination and autopsy, see if we can learn anything. Take me to where you think it happened. We're going to use our brains and try to understand the clues. I'm going to talk to the local underclass and see if they saw anything. It's time to hit the streets and with my eyes open. Small inducements should get people talking. Yeah. I'll organize your followers and lead them in a sweep for information. Pattermuster is in no shape to lead a search, but he can help by interrogating his vampires. I take Moon Moon as I organize Pattermuster's retainers and vampires. And vampires. I like the third one myself. Yeah, I'm definitely going to YouTube this. I'm absolutely going to YouTube it, and that is exactly what's going to happen. Oh. The headless, emaciated corpse is waiting for you on a metal gurney. Um, yeah, it really is. Oh no. There we are. Older vampires crumble to bones and dust upon final death, but Rita May was young. Decomposition is noticeable, but the body is still intact. The head was severed using a sharp, heavy blade, not a claw, which is always a possibility. No one's borrowed Duncan or Connor. Oh my god, the swords still have names. Pattermuster says, patting his invisible swords. The other noticeable injury is the puncture mark at the back, in the back that pierced her heart. You use tweezers to pull splinters out of the flesh. Staked, Pattermuster says. Discounting the highly unlikely possibility that Rena May fell out a window and landed on an upside-down table leg, you narrow down the search to people who know how to paralyze vampires. But more importantly, there's a noticeable deformation around Rena May's back. Whoever slammed the stake into her back did it with superhuman force. That narrows it down even further. Someone used their undead strength to guarantee that the stake would pierce flesh and muscle to reach its target. Finally, you have no head to examine. You can now, finally, though you have no head to examine, you can now see minor wounds around the clavicle just below the clean severed line. Corrosion caused by Rita Main's body crumbling upon final death. Final death? Maybe. But you see similar wounds on her toes and ankles, and one on her palms. Oh, the freaking Nosferatu did it. You examine her clothes, a long dress, open-toed sandals. The dress is chewed up at the hem. Oh, Pattermuster says, I know what those are. They're rat bites. The brutish ones, so the Bruja are, the Bruja are the rebels. They're very passionate and angry. You nod. Whoever destroyed Rita May summoned creatures of the night to attack her, then drove a stake into her back with superhuman strength. Any powerful vampire could develop those powers, but there aren't any powerful vampires here except Pattermuster, and he doesn't control rats. Stricorius does. The Nosferatu. Rare Moose is not, I don't think, in this particular part of it. I don't think so. It's definitely a Nos, yeah. So, next. It's easy to forget how fast one of the rebels can move. You could possibly keep pace with him, but you're not ready to burn Vitae just yet. Pattermuster flashes down the hallway and then down the stairs into Stricorius's private haven. He's a black outline in the glow of a single yellow bulb. And then the bats descend. And then the bats get torn to pieces because Pattermuster pulls his two katanas out of nothing and turns it into an undead Cuisinart for a few seconds. The bats patter to the ground, halved and quartered. Pattermuster flicks Duncan and Connor, spitting blood on the walls and ceiling, then keeps going. You step carefully so you don't slip in the Bruja as the Bruja stalks forward, covered in blood and wings. Then Stricorius bolts out of the shadow, cracking the tiles with the unnatural strength of his jump. Pattermuster dodges faster than you can track and slams both his swords through the Nosferatu's ribcage. Stricorius clatters and screams as he tumbles end over end with both swords through his chest, then rolls to a stop at your feet. You can feel the rebel's fury boiling off him. This is not just mindless rage, but righteous disgust at what the sewer rat has done. Murderer, Pattermuster whispers. He wrenches the swords out of Stricorius, twisting them as they come out, and the fallen vampire groans in pain. She was... Rena May betrayed you, Master, not me. She was moving opioids with the Roadrunners, those black jacket guards. She realized I knew. She would have... We don't destroy people for what they might do, Pattermuster says. Are you Prince? He kicks Stricorius across the dark and dingy room. He slams through a chair before rolling to a halt against a rusted filing cabinet, and then the rebel sees you and stops. Perhaps the word Prince made him hesitate. His authority is considerable here in his domain, but Pattermuster is no prince. You don't represent the Prince of Tucson, let alone whoever runs Phoenix after the SI and the Beckoning depopulated it. But Prince Latau will want a full accounting what happened here. That's a complication for both you and Pattermuster. So, he says, looking down at Stricorius and gritting his teeth to master his rage, what would a real prince do? Stricorius destroyed another vampire without having that right. Punishment for that anywhere is destruction. I don't give a damn about princes, but these vermin are worthless and weak. Stricorius got caught. Destroy him as a lesson to the others about infighting. The traditions of the Camarilla are cruel and inflexible. Stricorius and Rita May feuded because she worked behind your back. She started it, he ended it. The punishment should not be destruction. Maybe Stricorius can save his own life by telling us everything he knows about the opioid distribution network. Neither of us have responsibility here. I can drive him to Prince Latau or whoever runs Phoenix, but I'm not losing my head over because we overstepped our authority. Those filing cabinets are probably full of data on the Roadrunners I can turn into resources. I check, and if so, I tell Pattermuster to destroy him. Wow. That last one's kind of cold-blooded. I don't like 3. I kind of like 4. I don't like him turning him over to a prince because that seems like not the thing I want. You don't like 1 or 3, sure. Don't like 2? Okay. I do like 4 quite a bit. Yeah, 4. I think 4 is the way to go. That hardly serves the cause of justice, Pattermuster says. What do you think, Stricorius? Maybe I should just execute you. I thought I would welcome that, the Nosferatu says. To perish seemed better than stalking these dingy hallways night after night, drinking diseased blood. But now that you hold the sword, if I can buy my continued existence, I will. The information I've accumulated is in the file folders, he says, drumming his torn knuckles on the metal cabinet. You investigate. The filing cabinets contain hard copies about the Roadrunner agents distribution network. After a brief examination of the contents, you give Pattermuster a nod. Stricorius has held up his end of the bargain. We will say that you acted on my authority after discovering that Rena May has been operating behind my back, Pattermuster decides. And when you tried to question her, she nearly destroyed you and you had to defend yourself. That makes us both look good. And since you did so well, you're not sure where Pattermuster got the broken chair leg. It appears in his hand a split second before he drives it through the Nosferatu's heart. Since you did so well, Pattermuster says, I sent you to deal with the other problems outside the hospital. You'll return in, I don't know, a month, a year? I'll thank you for your service. Until then, think about what you did. Yeah, that actually makes a lot of sense. Um, so you and Pattermuster finish your investigation by cataloging everything in Stricorius's private haven and making sure there's nothing valuable. There's little of value or interest, but Pattermuster gets a sense for how little he really knows about the goings on in his own hospital. Finally, the two of you head back to the morgue. It's been a successful night, though the moment the Rita May mystery has been solved, Pattermuster starts worrying about out loud about the promised expansion of the hospital. Oh, well, I guess we're not catching up. Jumped ahead like 5 days. St. Basil Hospital Morgue, Phoenix, Arizona, night of November 11th, sunrise 6:49 a.m. It has to be tough. Wednesdays are frantic all day, then quiet all night. The frequent callouts among St. Basil's guards. The Roadrunner guards are also unusually quiet on Wednesdays since they're busiest on the weekends and lie low in between activity cycles. After the destruction of Rita May and the revelation of her involvement with the opioid sales, St. Basil's kindred have been subdued, which is good. They'll stay out of trouble. You and Pattermuster have spent enough nights surveying Director Corelli's office that you have a good sense of its layout. It's at the far end of the executive administration wing, behind a door that's locked and guarded the moment the director leaves in the evening until she returns an hour before dawn, or hour after dawn. There are normally 2 guards, except on Wednesdays when there's only one is on duty. The only other entrance is through a high, narrow window that you'd have to climb down from the ceiling to reach. The office itself is sparse with an old computer meeting table and old metal filing cabinets full of hard copies that doctors and hospital administrators constantly have access to. No wonder she wants to upgrade this place. The computer is an ancient desktop model, which makes it unexpectedly secure. You'll have to physically access it. The good news is that Pattermuster clung to the wall outside the window watched Dr. Corelli enter the password last night, so you'll have access. The executive administration wing is blanketed with cameras, but that's where Pattermuster comes in. His office is right down the hall from the security monitoring station, and he's waiting to temporarily disable the cameras just like you taught him. Then all you need to do is reach the director's old desktop unit and enter the password. No one has discovered you here at St. Basil's, and if you do well breaking into the office, who knows what else you might be able to exploit in there. It might be best to avoid easy and functional solutions like using your Lobo in favor of testing your skills. Cool. So don't use the Lobo, probably. I can just act like a doctor to gain access. It'll take total composure and persuasion, and ideally some basic medical training, but Pattermuster has an outfit for me. The guards take a 10-minute break at midnight. It'll take iron nerves to hack the door lock at that time, but I can do it. I drop down from the ceiling, hold on with all my strength with one hand, and slice through the window using a glass cutter with the other. I send Moon Moon through the door, or through the vents to open the door from the inside. They'll have no problem with this sort of thing. There's no way I'm going to be able to pull this off. I leave the thumb drive and head home. What's my resolve? My resolve is good. My technology is all right. I like number 2, honestly. Because the rest kind of suck. What's my composure? My composure's high. And I got a bit of persuasion and a bit of technology. My resolve and my composure are high. So actually, the first one is good, and so is the second one. It would be, and the thing actually says not to use the dog. So I'm considering that that's probably a bad idea. So I'm leaning between 1 and 2. What do you guys think? I take it. Oh, count the pips. That makes sense. So actually, it's going to be then it's going to be composure, persuasion, and technology, because my composure and my resolve are the same. My persuasion is 1, and my technology is 1, which makes it better. So, yeah, that's easy. So number 1, St. Basil's guards aren't outright stupid, but they're incurious and obedient to authority. You shrug on a coat and a stethoscope, check yourself in the reflection on the morgue's metal doors, and take Pattermuster. Kill the cameras in 5 minutes. The executive administration wing is empty except for a custodian emptying their cycling bins. The guard is playing games on his phone. You wait in the shadows until he wins. Winners give people what they want, then approach in a calm, professional manner. Need something, the guard says, not looking up. Before you can begin the spiel, he swipes you inside. You close the door behind you. That couldn't have gone better. Fantastic. The old CPU boots right up, and the password works. Most of St. Basil's feels like it was entombed in 2003, but the computer has a USB port, and you slide your weapon right in. You get a text from Pattermuster. Upload the virus, get everything you can from that computer. He's watching from his own computer, or one of his tech-savvy lackeys is. There's probably someone downstairs who knows that you're not here to upload a virus. It's just a program that plants incriminating information in a number of spreadsheets accessible by other members of the hospital staff. So now you're faced with the question. According to Prince Latau, the falsified records on the USB, once injected to the hospital's old and proprietary database system, will trigger such a financial meltdown that Director Corelli right, exactly, Roxy. Eeyore is very hard to unlock on that game. Will trigger such a financial meltdown that Director Corelli's future plans for redevelopment will be scrapped for at least a decade, leaving Pattermuster to and his creatures to continue their own lives in peace. If you do that, both Pattermuster and Latau will be grateful. Or you could transfer whatever Julian sent you along with the USB. That'll let the two of you effectively take over the hospital. Wealth and glory will follow, if you believe Julian. You'd probably earn his trust with the act. Of course, Pattermuster will react the way Bruja always react to betrayal. That'll be one hell of a fight, and he has those swords. Or you could just get rid of these creatures. You're no staunch humanist, but isn't there something pathetic about Pattermuster and his caitiff scavenging for blood here at St. Basil's? You would make enemies for everyone if you let the redevelopment go through, but St. Basil's would stop being such a black hole of despair and disease. God, what would the other Outlanders think of your newfound sense of humanity? I don't want to know if I want. I don't like the I need to prove my loyalty, but I like 2. I don't trust Julian, and I don't want to fight Pattermuster because we can't fight, and I'm not losing Moon Moon because that's what's going to probably happen. I don't like 5. That sounds like a bad idea too. So it's really down to 1 or 2. What do you guys think? Yeah. Pattermuster, like, you don't eviscerate bats. 222? Roxy's really excited about 2, so we're going to go with 2. It takes less than a minute to upload the virus. It doesn't seem like anyone is going to check in on this office soon. So once that's done, you can also you also transfer a bunch of data from the director's computer onto your phone, as Pattermuster requested. After a few minutes, you've decided that you've taken enough risks for one night. You open the door, mutter thanks to the guard, and stroll away as if you belong there. He doesn't stop you. You and Moon Moon reunite with Pattermuster down in the morgue, where he's pumping his fists as a thin blood on a gaming laptop watches with a worried expression because she can't tell if he's incredibly happy or insanely mad. Ransom, Pattermuster shouts, his eyes full of blood. You did it, you brilliant child, you did it. We're safe. Oh, thank God we're safe. He pulls you into an embrace, then punches a brick. Oh, that's okay. Yeah, oh, that sucks. Then punches a brick wall because he's so happy, showering all three of you in dust. You transfer the contents of Director Corelli's hard drives to the Thin Blood's gaming laptop. Get on that, would you? Pattermuster tells the techie. Then he shakes your hand while handing you a roll of 20s. Hey, more money. And you, Ransom, you deserve more than money. Stay here for a few nights. I'll teach you some tricks. I know. How's that? Ooh, we could get some stuff. Well, I'm going to finish this. Okay, cool. Freaking awesome. Great. Pattermuster is eager to teach or really to offer you whatever you need. He makes sure you have plenty of blood. The night after your successful job, he's eager to teach you. Oh. I could take more cash. I could take... So these are going to be more disciplines. So celerity makes you go fast. Obfuscate hides you. Potence makes you strong. And presence makes people pay attention to you. For our character build right now... with the Protean, we've got claws. So disciplines are just like magic abilities of vampires. It's not all vampires are able to do all of the vampire things you would expect. Like not every vampire can turn into a bat, but most vampires can learn how to do that from someone that does. So Gangrel can naturally turn into a bat. So as a Gangrel, I could teach as long as I knew that, I could teach someone else to do that. I kind of want to master the brutal and destructive supernatural arts of the rebels, because that sounds fantastic. Pattermuster. Oh, achievement. Because to learn you have to feed from another vampire. The blood techniques are the four. Yeah, and one did sound useful. Yeah, blood leech. Yeah, I got it. Pattermuster waves you into a chair and rolls up his sleeve. You drink from his wrist and feel all that rage and power burning through your brain. There's fury there that's the hallmark of the clan Bruja, underlaid with a fierce protectiveness. Pattermuster isn't that old, but you feel like you can taste centuries of sorrow and rage and disappointment in his veins. Don't get emotional, kid, he says. It's time you learned how to really kick ass. Hold on a second. The next few nights are a whirlwind of punishing training. You spend half the night in a single agonizing position, your blood frozen in your veins, while not even moving with gravity or the strained occult occurrence of your undead body. Then you spend half a day doing the same thing, locked in a closet, every cell in your body screaming for rest. But you fight on through the exhaustion and unlock Pattermuster's secrets. Woohoo! I got another achievement. Ward Shadow. Fantastic. Apart from the agonizing lessons, you're treated like an honored guest for the next few nights. Pattermuster makes sure you have easy access to blood and none of the creeps hassle you. One mystery still remains in the back of your mind. Who killed Miguel, Prince Letau's retainer? You roll out of St. Basil's parking lot with your veins full of blood and your pocket full of cash and head back to Tucson. We're looking at some stats. So, our hunger's down. That's good. So we picked up... Oh, nothing. What the heck? Let's check my inventory, because that doesn't make any sense. I've got more money. That's good. Why do I not have anything else? That's weird. Well, we'll find out what happens. Oh, back to game. Next. So it looks like you stopped the hospital's planned renovation. Prince Latal will be happy, though it means you've further entangled yourself with the Camarilla. A few miles southwest of town, you pull over and swap out the license plate. Yeah, so likely what's happened is when I spend my XP, that's when I can pick them up. That's what I'm guessing. So they should be here. Because presence, potence, obfuscate, and celerity. But I didn't pick any up. I don't see that I have XP listed anywhere, but last week they mentioned, Jason mentioned that that's a thing that happens, is you pick up XP as you go, and you can spend that later. So when you pass the Motel 6 where you dropped off your old phone, you see that it's been burned to the ground. It's been leveled so thoroughly you have to check your map to make sure you're looking at the right place because it's just gone. You stop about a half hour outside of Phoenix to swap your BMW, sweep your BMW for bugs. You don't find anything unusual. It looks like no one really paid attention to your car, but your thoughts turn to everything you learned from the Roadrunner guards and their opioid smuggling. You could certainly put what you've learned to use. I turned everything I've learned over to the police and get the drug smugglers shut down. I check for SI contacts in these organizations, which will secure the Masquerade and insulate me from hunters. I turn everything over to Julian. He can't have the hospital, but he can have the smugglers. I turn everything over to the Camarilla to stay in their good graces. I drain their accounts and transfer everything to me. I really like the last one. I really, really like the last one. Although I do make enemies when I do that, so that's a problem. But I do like the last one. Yeah. Number 2. So we already did check them for SI contacts. I think this is if we hadn't gone that route. So I'm guessing this, because of the way that the story flows, I'm guessing we've already done 2. Because when we did that technology roll earlier, it told us that there were no contacts between SI and the Roadrunners. Wow, you guys all really like 2. All right, we're going to go for 2. That's fine. It's fine. Though no one here seems directly affiliated with the Second Inquisition, kindred are creatures of the Shadow World, and you know how to use this kind of petty crime to hide your activities. For the next few weeks or even months, you can draw attention away from your own activities and any mistakes other Arizona kindred make by feeding information to hunters and journals about criminal conspiracy. Ah, okay, so this does make sense. When they uncover the truth, it won't be vampires. It'll be something as mundane as a drug ring, and you'll be safe. You're back in Tucson by 3 a.m., another job done. Early the next night, you roll past the Viper. One of Prince Latal's people recognizes you and hands you your payment. You take a moment to make sure the money adds up. You return to your parking garage and park the BMW. You secure your parking garage, rechecking the security systems you established upon moving in, and go to sleep. I'm going to go look at my stats because I want to look at my inventory and see how flush we are with cash. Oh, yeah. Yeah, we're doing pretty good all right on. Yeah, I think we're about done for the night. So we're going to stop here. Hey, just as a reminder, Thursday we've got Illuminated Page. Friday, I'm going to start with Celesta, Crown of the Magister, and then we're going to do the 24-hour gaming for Extra Life. I'm going to do that myself before Roxy gets to it. So go to that link if you guys want to send some money to the Riley Children's Hospital here in Indianapolis. That's going to be, I've got a goal of $500 to raise that. Yeah, don't read ahead, Roxanne. Don't read ahead. Yeah, I'm raising money all weekend for Extra Life, and I'm going to keep doing this. We're going to mention it on Thursday as well. So my goal is $500. I've already got $25 in the bank. So any money that you guys could help out with, I know times are really kind of rough right now financially, and it's completely understandable. If you're not able, but if you do have a couple of bucks, just even $2 or $3, toss them at the donation page. Riley and other children miracle hospitals are fantastic, and they really do help. And as much as I personally don't think that hospitals should be in a place that they have to ask for donations, that's where we are in reality. So that's what we should be doing, is helping them out. That's why I do Extra Life. Plus, there are people that I knew growing up that would not have survived to adulthood without Riley. Maybe other hospitals would have helped them, but they would not have been nearly as good with kids. A girl I went to church with and at one point dated, as you do as a middle schooler, spent a lot of time in Riley because of asthma, and her life was saved because of Riley. So Riley does a lot of good work. They work really hard at making sure the kids are taken care of. I would really, really appreciate any bit of support you guys can give. But we'll be here on Thursday for Eliminated Page. We'll see what happens with the Ithian. Hopefully no one dies. We don't know. Maybe they will. And then Friday we'll be playing Solasta from 7 p.m. Central Time until 9. And then after that, I'm going to just start rotating stuff. Sometime on Saturday, we're going to play some Among Us and some Jackbox. So definitely get a hold of me if you want to be on either one of those. And we'll be happy to have you, consider having you on. Just depends on how many people we get interested. Check out our Facebook and our YouTube. Roxy's just tossed the links. You can go over to Twitter and find us there at Quiett Gentleman Entertainment, I think. Or Quiett Gentleman, either way. And go to Facebook and check out the events so that they can remind you when we're going to be streaming. And you get the notifications there. All right. So, thank you guys for coming out. And we'll talk to you guys in a couple of days. Bye.